Today, there was heavy deployment outside and inside the premises of the Makindye General Court-Martial ahead of the trial of Dr. Kizza Besigye and Obedi Lutale, who were arrested in Nairobi on 16th of November and returned to Uganda by the military operatives. Lawyers, FDC Katonga faction leaders, family and other members from various political parties waited inside the court premises. The vehicles arrived at Makindye just before 9 a.m., raising expectations among those gathered around. However, towards 11 a.m., a team of lawyers stormed the security checkpoint near the court entrance, demanding to be allowed into the chambers to avoid the punishing sunshine. Later, the army allowed them in after they were subjected to a thorough body check. Later, Dr. Kizza Besigye and his co-accused Obedi Lutale entered the dock and the proceedings commenced.
By example, we read, that is the UPDF motto, but sincerely there is nothing to emulate from the conduct of soldiers out there, treating us as if we are criminals.
Commanding the security, I believe that one will be solved.
Although the court was filled to capacity, the legal team asked the chairman of the court to adjourn after many of the lawyers failed to get space to sit.
No, you can't direct me, you are not court.
Counsel Kizza, can you listen?
We have rules of this court. It is not going to be like a political rally. Read section 169 and section 212.
Later, the defense team asked court not to proceed without the head of the legal team, Martha Karua, who is yet to receive a practicing certificate from the legal counsel, being a Kenyan national.
The question of East Africa integration. Mr. Chairman, allow me, with your permission, Mr. Chairman, I just want to prove to court that the Honorable Martha Karua here holds an East African passport, which is a valid document in Uganda.
I think Counsel Kwagu, we are not going into those issues. We all read the news about the decision of the law council. You tell us the way forward, you address court on how we are for the next move.
Sir Chairman, I wasn't advised that the court had read newspapers.
This led a hot exchange between lawyer Aaron Kizza and judge advocate of the court-martial over technicalities in the proceedings.
Listen, my advice to this court is final.
No, it is not. It is not.
And it binds you.
No. You are not a member of court.
Counsel Kizza.
He is not a member of court.
The court-martial also raised issue with the failure by some of the defense lawyers to present their practicing certificates with its registrar.
The arrangement is like that. We expected 10 people, and those who have not fulfilled to be in the seats are highly rare.
They are public, are available. That should not be a problem. It's not a problem of the accused. I think whoever is trying to create that problem should deal with it, but the accused has chosen competent lawyers. And
the prosecution asked the chairperson of the court to rein in the defense lawyers, who he accused of flouting the sub judice law.
Counsel Kwaku has been appearing on so many media and discussing the merits of this case.
Merits of the matter. Actually, that order should be directed to the state. Why? Because they have already started trying this matter in the court of public opinion. Getting audio clips, which are purportedly said to be emanating from UPDF, being even transcribed verbatim in one of the dailies here and a number of other media houses. Trying them in the court of public opinion. And he has not come out to condemn that and to ask any application.
Besides Dr. Kizza Besigye and Obedi Lutale's legal team challenging the jurisdiction of Makindye Military Court-Martial against a backdrop of a constitutional court ruling which said that civilians should not be tried in a military court-martial. During the proceedings, the legal team raised a point of concern, saying that one of the members of the legal team, that is the retired Major Iduri Ronald, was allegedly abducted by security operatives today at 5 a.m. and thus they were asking court to stop proceedings until this matter is sorted out. After the matter reached a deadlock, the court-martial adjourned proceedings, remanding Dr. Kizza Besigye and Haj Obedi Lutale until 7th January 2027. With the proceedings out of the way, lead defense counsel Martha Karua had this to say.
Yoweri Museveni to bring Kaminwa from Kenya, Dr. Kaminwa, my senior, for a civil matter. A criminal matter is more serious than a civil matter. That involves the life and liberty.
For his part, ANT President, retired Major General Mugisha Muntu, who was the first army commander, had this to say.
My advice, those who are in government, be sure that as day follows night, there's going to be a day when you won't be in those offices. I appeal to you, do things now when you are seen in government that will enable you to leave uniform and offices, ministries, whatever, so that you can find a country where there is justice.
We are here to say no to this injustice, to say human rights must be respected.
This will be the second time that Dr. Kizza Besigye spends Christmas and New Year in prison since 2005, when he was first arrested and charged with treason and rape at the time. Sudhir Byaruhanga, NTV.